Impeachment, coronavirus, John Bolton. I can go on and on. And for those of you watching this on YouTube, we're working things out here. I'm actually listening to music in my head. That's why I'm kind of swaying back and forth. I'm getting ready for the podcast. I'm super excited. You are here with me at Radio America, these beautiful studios. Like I say, right next to the swamp in Washington, D.C. It's okay. We shake off the swamp moisture off our boots every day before we come in here. And we're exposing what is happening inside the bubble, because the bubble really is the bubble. These folks, they just don't get it. I don't know what world or planet some of our congressional members and senators are living on, but they just don't get it. The American people are sick and tired of their bickering and fighting on Capitol Hill, and they just want to get things done. Whether you love Donald Trump, hate Donald Trump, just like Donald Trump, anything Trump, it's besides all of that. The American people, what they want is for people that they voted for their lawmakers who they pay with their tax dollars to do their job, to take care of our education system, our infrastructure, medical. I mean, look, we have a lot of issues that we need to resolve in this country. Another issue that we need to resolve, what's going on at the border, national security, our foreign policy issues with people overseas, Afghanistan. We still have soldiers there. Iraq. There's still dangers. People are still dying. But all we hear about every day is impeachment. And it's huge. You're right. This is an issue for every American. Why? Because it affects the stability of our country, the very fabric of our nation. We voted. The American people voted. They voted, and President Trump is a duly elected president. Yet since the beginning of his administration, all they have done is target him over and over and over again. This is what they do because they are furious that the way life was for them here on Capitol Hill, the way it's been going on for 20 years, has changed. It's changing. It's fundamentally changing because he said, we're not going to take this anymore. We're going to hold you accountable. So let's go to a story that's very important. This is a big breaking story, and it's about Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. His attorney, Sidney Powell, she is incredible. She's been on the show before, on the Sarah Carter show, and she is fighting back like mad with facts, not rhetoric, with facts. Her supplemental motion that she submitted to the courts to withdraw his guilty plea is filled with facts that actually show the misconduct and the malfeasance conducted by the FBI when they not only targeted Carter Page, but when they targeted General Flynn. And it is so intense, this supplemental motion. I mean, I was reading with bated breath. I was turning the pages, like going through it. And then I saw the declaration from Lieutenant General Flynn. The first time we've actually heard him say this. And he said, I did not lie to them. I did not lie to them. I was coerced into a guilty plea because the special counsel promised me that they would not go after my son, Michael Flynn Jr. That's what they did. They promised him, you plead guilty to something you didn't do, and we'll back off. America, that is what is happening with these out-of-control prosecutors. This is not just General Flynn. Although General Flynn's case, he was the target from the very beginning from these folks that hate President Trump. I'm talking John Brennan, James Comey, James Clapper. They all worked together. General Flynn knew all of these folks because he was head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. He was the J2 at the Pentagon, which means he ran intelligence at the Pentagon quite a while back. And he was, basically the top dog on intelligence. He used to challenge the CIA continuously. They hated him for it. And they did not want to see him as national security advisor because guess what he was going to do? He was planning on auditing the CIA. all of their classified operations. A classified audit. And they weren't going to have any of that. They didn't even want President Trump. So it was a win-win for them. Get him out by any means necessary. And that's what they did. And how can you fight that? How can you fight that when you don't have the resources, the finances, when someone's strong-arming you? Can you imagine being questioned 8 hours a day? 8 hours a day by FBI agents? And you're telling the truth, and then they bring you back and they question you some more. So she is asking for the courts to basically, he wants to withdraw his guilty plea. If they allow him to do that, if Judge Sullivan actually allows that to happen, they will go to a new trial. That, or what if it gets thrown out altogether? That could probably be the best circumstance, right? Get it thrown out altogether. That could be the best. Somebody reminded me of that in an email last night, that it's not just going to the courts that could be the best outcome, but just getting the case thrown out altogether. I'm going to tell you why really quick before I move on to impeachment, why this is scaring the Justice Department. You want to know why? Because remember, just several weeks ago, the Justice Department wanted to give Michael Flynn the complete reversal. They said now he should get jail time. He should be sentenced to 6 months in jail. Give him the max that we can give him, 6 months or more. I think the max would be like 5 years, but definitely give him 6 months, up to 6 months. When Sidney Powell filed this supplemental motion to withdraw the guilty plea, guess what they did? Within hours, they submitted their response and said, oh, we really don't want to give him jail time. We'll just give him probation. They don't want him to withdraw his guilty plea. They're trying to say, look, just get probation now. It's over. You never have to deal with this again. But then that would be an admission of guilt, right? So this is where they got him. They're like, can you imagine being toyed with like this? They also don't want egg on their face because they know that if this goes to trial and Lieutenant General Michael Flynn is exonerated, the Department of Justice prosecutors are going to have egg all over their face. That's where I'm going to end it with Michael Flynn right now. He's a great man, a great patriot. You can read about all of the stories that we have on Lieutenant General Michael Flynn at sarahacarter.com. That's sarahacarter.com. I'm going to move really quick to impeachment, but I want to tell you who our special guest is. It's Congressman Lee Zeldin. Amazing. He's so funny, by the way. You guys are going to love him. He is easy to listen to, just like great music or a good glass of wine. Adam's actually in the control booth and he loves it. You can talk, Adam. It's okay.
I just enjoyed his sense of humor. We caught him in a moment where you'll hear it, where there's just some real commotion in the background, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here, but his ability to deliver on Sarah asking him, "Where are you right now?" It just made us all smile.
It's a teaser, folks. It's a teaser. Adam's right. It's a teaser. You got to listen. You got to listen to this interview. It's great. It's not long. It's about 15 to 16 minutes, and it is just a fun interview and very, very informative. I mean, he really nails a lot of things right on the head. I mean, there is just no other way to describe it. And actually, we joke around about Adam Schiff. Hint, hint. We have a thing about Adam Schiff now. So you got to listen to the interview if you want to know what we discussed about Adam Schiff. So you got to listen to it. It's coming right up. We have also some big breaking news. It's on sarahacarter.com. You can go there to read this story. But 2 top GOP senators are now requesting that Attorney General William Barr declassify 4 footnotes in Inspector General Michael Horowitz's report, saying that a section of that report misled the public. And unless these 4 classified footnotes are unclassified, the public will not be aware of it. There is a big conflict here. I mean, I tried my darndest to find out what those exact footnotes were, and nobody was talking. They are classified. What we do know is that Senator Ron Johnson and Senator Chuck Grassley sent a classified letter to William Barr, and then they sent another letter that was unclassified that the public could read. What we do know is that there are 4 footnotes in the Horowitz report that contradict basically a part of the report that was made public. I want you to think about this because this is Washington, D.C. People here are experts at covering up. It almost seems like they never even pay a price for what they do. And that's really, really scary. So when these senators are asking for this type of information, believe me, it's for a reason. And it's for a really important reason. And we as Americans deserve to know everything. And by the way, President Trump has already given the authority to William Barr to declassify whatever he needs to declassify. So I hope Attorney General William Barr does the right thing and he declassifies these documents. That's how important this is. I can tell you it's extraordinarily important. And like I said, we're going to have Congressman Zeldin on in a few minutes. You're going to love it. You're going to love to hear what he has to say. There is so much happening here. I want you to go to SarahACarter.com, read the stories there, listen to this podcast. By the way, go to the app and rate our podcast. Give us a 5 stars, right? Download the podcast. We are making waves across America. 2020 election is just around the corner. Every American right now is living in a moment of history. The decisions that we make today, those decisions that are happening right now here in the swamp on Capitol Hill, those congressmen that are fighting for truth and justice, and for the president's team up there who are making incredible arguments, Alan Dershowitz, Patrick Philbin. Before we go to Congressman Zeldin, I want to play that clip, Adam. It's the White House counsel, Patrick Philbin, before the Senate.
If you're going to impeach the President of the United States, turning square corners and proceeding by the law matters. And for the House managers to come here and say it was blanket defiance, it was unprecedented, that you have to draw an adverse inference against them because they didn't respond to any of our document subpoenas. All of the document subpoenas were issued without authorization. Maybe they disagree with us, but they can't just say we provided no rationale and you have to draw an adverse inference. There was a specific legal rationale provided.
This man, he was called Geek Chic by everyone after he, began his defense for the president and laid it all out. And for those of you that couldn't hear that because we've got right now what's going on in my ears.
No, we got it fixed.
You did?
Yeah, the video is going to have the audio. It's all good.
Oh, this is so great.
We got it.
I'm so excited. Okay, we got it fixed. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, you guys are really bored right now staring at me.
We're on a venture where we're trying to put our podcast as well on YouTube, and that takes a little bit of effort, and we've got it all figured out.
I know. This is it. We've got a team here. Jenny and Adam are the team that makes things happen. I'm so excited. Okay, so without further delay, I'm going to bring on Congressman Lee Zeldin so you could hear this interview. You guys will not be disappointed.